Hello everybody, my name is Bio and we are coming at you with the most exciting match of this entire LAN event. Grand Finals between Some Deaths and Lekker. The crowd is fired up. Give me a cheer because these two teams have gone through hell and back these 2 days to get here on the grand stage, fighting for the title of champion at Rising Squid Land 3.
Yeah, Some Deaths had a crazy tournament. They've been dominating almost every single set we've been seeing tonight. Lekker backtrack has not been dominating as much, but still a super strong team. But I think Lekker backtrack also had a little bit of stronger teams against them than Some Deaths. We're gonna start it off on Splat Zones, Umai Ruins. I think the perfect flat dual zone map to see what these teams are made of and how they're gonna face off with each other. Some Deaths, of course, we know Storm, that ballpoint being absolutely not going to be Storm against Brian, really, because both of these players have been playing primarily ballpoint this entire tournament, and that long range is such a struggle to fight against. I just was talking about if it Noctis in between the last game and this game, and Noctis told me that ballpoint, Brian already is being so slippery, but the ballpoint by itself just being so annoying. Brian with this crazy defensive, inkjets, just gonna make it even harder. Now they have two because Banana also is using one. We get the teams at the ready. We both see very similar looking weapon composition. Carbon Roller against the Brush, Okami against Robin at the front line, Sandu against Toyoban. It's a very equal up fight. Just a little bit of weapon difference, but the classes are the exact same. It looks like Some Deaths is the first team that gets control of that zone and also get a splat. Toyoban with that scrap tank activated at the middle. Brian with that inkjet on the side, trying to do the best, but they just cannot get the zone out of the hands of Some Deaths, who are pushing past the 80 mark into the 70s. It's only been neutralized, but the second someone fallen, Toyoban quickly picked it back up and started painting. This match instantly turned into a good set, but Some Deaths pushes in and pushing in deep. Robin with the flank gets Storm. Unfortunately, Robin unfortunately gets battled by Okami. A quick refrag. Now Banana goes in with that Tri-Slosher, looking for an opening, looking for someone to splat, but that zone are still in control of Some Deaths, who are just pushing it through and through.
No, Some Deaths did a great job of getting control of the zone first, and they are sticking to it. Toyoban with another crab tank, but Banana is going to have none of it. Picking Okami, breaking Toyoban's crab tank, and giving Lekker control of the zone. They do get picked, but Robbie coming in and getting another. This is looking fierce. Okami sneaking up behind Brian, but not quite going to get the pick. Yes, and it is still going to be control of the zone for Lekker. Some Deaths looking to come back in. They do still have a pretty decently comfortable lead. 55 is nothing. It is definitely something, but they can't go in if they get almost wiped out. Okami, the last one alive, is going to get picked by Brian here. Banana pushing up very aggressively with the Tri-Slosher. Not going to get anything, but the points are ticking down very quickly. Lekker just already in the mid-30s. And with only 3 minutes remaining, that was extremely quick. Some Deaths need to start pushing in here and deal with these players on Lekker that are just all around them, covering every possible entrance route, such as Robbie here, which gets a spectacular pick onto Storm. 8-7-6. Time is running out for Some Deaths. Some Lekker get the knockout and get game 1 in Grand Finals.
Yeah, Some Deaths were so close. They had 3 players down right at the end, but not enough time was left. If only there were 5 more ticks on that timer, they could have gone and gotten that zone back. Unfortunately, that's just not how it was meant to be. Lekker backtrack and a very strong opening, but Some Deaths also nothing to scoff at. A very early push at 54 is a very respectable opening push, and they were also playing together oh so well. Brian, though, has a little bit of an advantage on Storm. I think Brian in this scenario is the better ballpoint splatling, and that may maybe be crucial later in the tournament, the amount of paint that Brian has to throw onto the map. Some Deaths can get a counter pick in here. They have to choose carefully. It looks like the counter pick has been chosen already, if I'm correct. Let's see if it's on my screen now. I saw something like Hagglefish. Yes, it is tower control on Hagglefish in map mode. Some Deaths has excelled at earlier in this tournament. And definitely something they probably will excel at here as well.
No, definitely. We have seen Hagglefish market tower control quite a few times now. And we've actually seen these teams play this exact map mode combination. So they are definitely very comfortable on this. They have their strategies set in stone, but they still have room for adaptation depending on how the other team plays. Now, I will say, I think Lekker may have a little bit of a hard time here. We have seen the brush on this map be pretty effective, but I think Some Deaths are just better suited for it with the slosher, with the machine, with the Splash-O-Matic, and also because of course the carbon roller can be pretty effective on this map thanks to all the ledges and all those Trizuka spots. I think this could definitely swing in Some Death's favor if Lekker aren't careful.
Yeah, but Lekker does have that double inkjet, and that's gonna be fair for Some Deaths because, well, Storm is the most range they have. Everything else has super short range. Maybe the machine can be a little bit iffy to that inkjet, but not a whole lot, especially given how much range inkjet has and how high they can jump nowadays. It's gonna be difficult for Some Deaths to get a hold of them, especially when Brian and Banana both use their inkjets together. Of course, going by Banana using that Tri-Slosher. No, they switched to is it a vanilla roller? I think that's a vanilla roller. Yeah, no, it is a vanilla roller. Double Splash-O-Matic vanilla roller and a ballpoint spatting. That's not something you see often. Of course, both ballpoint spatting also running drop roller for that inkjet. A lot of people keep forgetting that it also works on the inkjet land. Let's see who's going to be the first team to start a proper opening push. We see Okami going in, getting Brian early. That's huge. We're getting rolled over by the crab tank from Robba. Robba using the Splash-O-Matic instead of the brush. Not something you see super often, but definitely helpful in those scenarios. Tries to go in against multiple people, but gets caught up, unfortunately. Though everyone from Lekker backtrack. Some Deaths are slowly being picked off one by one, and Lekker backtrack is the first team to get that push going.
Oh no, and honestly, there is one important thing to take note of in Lekker's in Lekker's team composition. The fact that 3 of their players are running they're running Ninja Squid. This is going to make their team very stealthy, which is very useful when you have a very shark heavy weapon, such as the vanilla roller. But it is also important to realize that is going to cause very slow rotates for the 2 splashes, which rely on being fast and rotating quickly in order to set up their crab tanks and tri-strikes, of course, in opportune position. So that is something that we will be seeing Lekker have to play around. But regardless, one of the rollers on the side of Lekker goes down. We've seen this before. Some Deaths starting to push forward, clearing the right side with the inkjet and crab tank. Now looking to clean up the left side. 2 down the side of Lekker. But the roller on the bottom left side gets a pick. This may just turn this around. Banana doing so much here. Needs to get the pick. Needs to live, and they do. It is a trade, but that will be the momentum broken for Some Deaths as they go several players down, and Lekker force the tower back into mid, into a neutral game, and finally take a bit of a breather.
Yeah, the breather is something that Lekker kind of wants because they've been fighting so much pressure. And again, Some Deaths again going for a push. They have specials ready. The crab tank from Toyoban is ready, and the crab tank might be important later on the tower as they quickly switch it up. Storm going on. Crab tank being used on the base of Lekker backtrack. And this the push we're looking for. 2 players down outside the Lekker backtrack. Will the lead swap over? Only 1 more point. Storm has to get out. Okami help the teammate. The lead has been swapped at the halfway mark of time. A very good push from Some Deaths, but that can be better. They are on the checkpoint, slowly getting coins. Okami being caught out by a suction bomb. Now Pronama wiping it out, a wipeout on the side of Lekker. backtrack, meaning Some Deaths can score even more points. The third checkpoint has been touched. Only 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, they're gonna get it. Okami comes in time. Gets it, gonna get the knockout here. Okami's still alive. And without any trouble, Some Deaths gets the knockout on their own counter pick, giving it a 1-2-1. They had a little trouble in the opening, but Some Deaths took it back with a very, very, very strong push.
That was definitely something to see. Some Deaths played their cards greatly. You saw Okami go forward and absolutely focus that roller. With the faster kill time, Carbon Roller is a huge threat to a vanilla roller. We saw Promano use that machine to its fullest potential, taking all those specific angles where Machine's hitbox thrives, and just making the most out of it, chipping and getting the picks that they needed to push the tower that far. Toyobin farming those crab tanks that make so much space for their team, and of course Storm using that extreme backline pressure that Ballpoint provides to give some suppressive fire and some support to their frontliners. And regardless, let's move on here. We now have our counter pick chosen by Lekker. Clam Blitz on Museum d'Alfonsino. Once again, these are very popular map mode combinations. We have seen this before several times, several matches between several teams. So we more or less know how this map plays, but what's important is how these teams are going to choose to approach this map's distinctive playstyle.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Lekker backtrack fight against Dickaban earlier on this exact map mode combination, and we saw Dickaban just could not get a grasp of it because Lekker backtrack is being thrown so much stuff at them. Hopefully they can do this. They can do the same here, but now they have to fight Some Deaths. And if we look at the last game, how that went for Lekker backtrack, it's super difficult. We haven't seen, of course, Clemens with these two teams playing against each other, so we cannot be a full judge, but these teams are ready to go all out. Of course, always remember, this is a Grand Finals. You won that #1 spot. You get a various amount of prizes. You get a medal, a trophy, you get a big cut of that prize money, which I think is 750 euros at least. There's also, for if you really care, that Sendo.ink badge, and of course that glory that always comes with it, the first biggest major EU land. We had, of course, that in France. This is the more international one, RSL. These teams are ready. Of course, Okami back onto the carbon roller, Banana back on that stamper. These are the weapons they've been excelling at. All of these players giving it their absolute best. Brobo also bringing back his legendary roller, collecting clams at the earliest. Will Robbo do another one of those sneaky early pushes? He's been notorious for this tournament. Doesn't look like it because Some Deaths are looking at Robbo like no one else. They are looking at him, and oh, a sneaky machine shot from Fornamo also gassed the splat on Robbo. That's huge. Banana tried to flank but gets splatted as well. That's 2 players down now on the side of Lekker backtrack, which means Some Deaths has some breathing room to start pushing. They have 8 clams on the board. Someone fall, unfortunately, that was Storm. That's more clams gone. Toyoban also got splatted by Brian, meaning that their push has come to an end. It's a very close opening. It looks like Lekker backtrack here is preparing for their first push. They have the clams, they have the players, and they have the specials as well. 11 clams, 12 clams on hand. We just see Robbo using their special, but goes down. 2 specials are still ready. The Booyah Bomb from, or the Inkjet from Brian, and the Zipcaster from Banana, but unfortunately Brian and Banana both go down, ending that push for Lekker backtrack, but still no team has gone a proper push yet.
No, yeah, both teams are still at 100 points remaining. They haven't been able to penetrate each other's defenses effectively. And we're seeing both teams just play this very slowly. This neutral game is very difficult to shove off, especially when you're facing 2 extremely high-level teams like this. But Okami tries to break it by, well, breaking the crab tank, but no kills go out, except it dodges the hammer. Unfortunate moment, but Robbie goes down. It does get evened out by his team, but regardless, Some Deaths have the advantage here. Robbie trying to make something happen on the top of that spinner. Okami going for the pick onto the Inkjet, not quite able to get it, and actually trades their life for it. And, oh, this Stamper with the Zipcaster needs to make something happen here. Looks for Storm, looks for the pick, but Storm is waiting with the full charge close range and absolutely mows down Banana in that Zipcaster. Storm is actually looking at Robbie and gets sniped by the hammer. Perfect throw right over the ledge is going to solidify a man advantage for Lekker, quickly pushing up into Some Death's court and trades with Okami. This is still in at the advantage of Lekker as they start pushing forward aggressively and try to find as many picks or charge as many specials as possible. Incredible play by Banana, gets 2, and once again, Lekker has a big advantage, but they aren't playing, they aren't getting the clams they need. They only managed to score 1 power clam, and that was only because Robbie was there. They kept getting all these picks, they kept getting all these man advantages, but if there's no one there with the clams to capitalize off of it, you're gonna get something like this, where Banana just ends up falling off the map in despair.
Yeah, I want to mention though that maybe they only got 1 push in, but looking how close these teams are fighting, the 1 push might be the most important push of this game. Only 1.5 minutes are left for Some Deaths to get a push in against the splats. Okami using their Inksuka to the fullest, but they have no clams and there are 10 clams at the port. And where is Robbe? I don't see him anywhere. He might as well be behind and sneak a clam in. Banana's buying some time inside of their base in order to defend, in order to get people from Some Deaths out, and looks like it's swapped as Lekker backtrack is started to push again. 2 players are down on the side of Some Deaths, and that might be important. Storm gets splatted by a super well-timed shot from Banana. That Zipcast is gonna help a ton here. Also allows him to get out of the fight. We do see Brian with the power climb ready, throws it in. More points are being scored, and now is the time where they're gonna push 67. Only a minute left on the clock for Some Deaths to get a hold of themselves. They got rid of 3 players from Lekker backtrack, meaning that push has come to an end. But still, it's a very tough fight for Some Deaths because they have 11 clams and 2 power clams, but they still have to get it through the base of Lekker backtrack, and Brian and Banana being so stupid strong with the defense. There's the opening. That's the first power coming in. The second one has to be jumped in. More powers coming in. The lead is 1 kill away. It's been swapped at the last 25 seconds. Now it is Some Deaths in control. It is their game to play. A full wipeout will end that push, but Lekker backtrack has to rush in fast. They have the clams. The pity clam is at the board. Power clam is at the ready. They can do it. Crab tank is out. And Pat is there. The clam has been thrown in. They score. They have taken the lead back in the last 5 seconds. And with a couple deaths, then the lead is ended. But I think that will be called overtime. They have the clams. It can still happen, but no! No, unfortunately for Some Deaths, overtime has ended. And Lekker backtrack at the last 5 seconds took it back. It is still in their hands, and they take the lead in this set.
That was such a great play from Sendu there at the end. Just tried to score 1 last time, and we get the fist bump.
Legendary fist bump.
That was great between Banana and Sendu. Great plays from both of them, which we clearly saw here on this map, which led them to the win in that overtime situation. That was definitely something to see. Both teams were playing very slowly, very passively. Which is what led to the very small leads that we saw at the beginning. But they just kept getting exchanged. First Lekker, then Some Deaths, then Lekker again, and maintained it at the very end for overtime, which is what counts.
Yeah, definitely, but look how long it took before any team started scoring. And even if Lekker only had 1 power climb in their first initial push, that still took a minute after for Some Deaths to even counter that. And after that, it started snowballing left and right. But that's how well neck on neck these teams are fighting. Some Deaths have opted to go to Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control, which I can see why. It's a map mode that they hopefully excel. But you know, I honestly, with how close these teams are, no words. Some Deaths though has been super strong at tower control. I mean, look at the Hagglefish market game. The second they were on that tower, it was game over for Lekker backtrack. Can they repeat it here? What do you think, Bio?
Well, honestly, I think Some Deaths has a pretty good shot at winning this second tower control map. They have proven themselves to be quite powerful. when they have a moving objective that is supposed to go in a straight direction. That's why they suffered a little bit on Splat Zones and Clan Blitz. But when they have tower control, which not only gives them a defined route, but it also gives them a special advantage and positioning advantage, that is great for them, since it allows them to push their aggressive potential to the max. Some Deaths, well, when they have all 4 players, 0 deaths, is well known for their extreme aggression. You have Isabel on the Tetras. You have Phoenix and Toyobin supporting her, with Storm holding it all together with the ballpoint, and we're seeing some of that energy trickle into Some Deaths playstyle, with Okami playing so aggressively, being backed up by Toyobin, by Promano, and of course by Storm. So I think those same attributes that 0 deaths have really shows themselves in Some Deaths playstyle on these very aggressive maps and modes.
Yeah, I do agree with that. The first game now is on their way, and it's a 3v3 scenario as both of teams get 1 player down. It's just, it's so hot here. I know I see my tilt counter sweating. I cannot. I'm filled with nerves here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Both teams are still waiting. They're passively waiting for an opening. We do see the Tri-Strike coming out for Lekker Tech, forcing the Storm away. Robbe inside of that base of Some Deaths. That's not where he wants him to have. He's still there. Sander goes in on the trap, gets a splat. That's a very huge one, because that allows Lekker Tech to start pushing on the tower. Also gets a sneaky one onto Toyobin. So they're not done yet. Brian on that tower, trying their best. I see Ayato using that Inkjet to his best advantage. Gets a splat onto Storm. That's going to help them a ton. Having get rid of the backline is very important. Also getting rid of the machine. That's most of your support damage gone. Now it's only the Slayers trying to do their best. Okami trying to fight against Brian's Inkjet, but that's no help, especially when Ayato is there. And Lekker Tech is still going. They passed the first and second checkpoint, and they are not done yet. Tri-Strike coming out again. They have so many specials. Robbe is going left and right, using their special again. You see everything going out left and right. Okami trying to flank, but Robbe just has an eye and sees everything. They're still going. Some Deaths has no answer to everything. Lekker Tech is throwing out the discounts pick has gone the exact opposite way of how they wanted it to. Brian again on that Inkjet. How many specials can you farm in one game? That's the question. Now Robbe goes in against 3 people. Finally, a fight that Some Deaths can win. The tower goes back, but no! Sendu sneakily goes in, gets a splat. 3 players down on the side of Some Deaths, but also 3 players down on the side of Lekker Tech. And I think this push is finally gone to an end here. That took almost full, that took even more than full 2 minutes. Robbe is there, but I'm pretty sure Okami can make quick work of them. Yes, no, whoa, both of them somehow still alive. And Lekker Tech is going back in the base bio. What is going on here?
This is definitely a very chaotic push. Some Deaths can't quite fully stop Lekker's push as the Tri-Star gets 2, and that is a wipeout on 0 deaths. Lekker is still not done. Sendu is consistently staying alive, getting these picks, getting these specials, getting this paint that allows Lekker to always be pushing forward and just not let up for anything, no matter how hard Some Deaths tries. They can't quite push Lekker fully back. They can't shut down their push. They may stall it out a little bit. They may cause them to regroup, but they can't stop their push. And it's really just being this one-sided fight where Lekker is just always on the offensive, and they never really have to go back to mid, play neutral. They can always be basically inside of Some Deaths base. But as I say that, I stand corrected. They're finally setting up a push for Some Deaths, as Lekker is doing actually a great job of defending, not letting Some Deaths get much farther than the first checkpoint.
Yeah, and that checkpoint is a bit of an annoying one sometimes to push through. They finally got through it though, and also 3 players are down on sort of Lekker Tech, meaning that Some Deaths can actually start a proper push here. But that second checkpoint, oh boy, that's gonna be a nightmare. Robbe has their special ready, that Killer Whale 5.1. It's used from behind as well. Brian coming in with that splat. with that ballpoint splatling, getting a couple extra picks as well. 3 players down on the side of Some Deaths, and they don't have a whole lot of time left. 50 seconds to be exact. And that's still meaning they have to push from 55 all the way to 12. Because of the tower control works, because it is the center. Luckily, they don't have to go through the first checkpoint anymore, but the second and third are still on the way, and those are way harder than the first one. 2 inkjets activated for Lekker backtrack, meaning that Some Deaths cannot move at all, and they lost 3 players again. They're finally respawned, and they're finally getting a splash, but now Pronama goes down again. Toyoben, Okami, and Storm are trying to get any sort of grasp on the scenario, but it's so difficult with everything I'm throwing at them. Okami misses a flank, ignores it. 2 players go down on the side of Some Deaths again. That's so unfortunate. Good flank there from Ayato with the Tri-Slosher. 2 players are now down by Okami with that Inkzuka. 3 players down instead of Lekker backtrack with 2 seconds left on the clock. The tower is still in control. Overtime has Brock, but it's gonna be super difficult because they cannot afford any mistakes. And there is probably already the first one, a trade between Banana and Ayato. That's not something, sorry, Pranamo and Ayato, that's not something they can afford. Okami also goes down here. No one on the tower left, meaning that Lekker backtrack secures game number 3, giving them match point status.
Lekker finally pushing through and getting match point. This is what I was talking about. Lekker just had the entire first half of the game held hostage. Some Deaths could not move out of their base, and a fist bump between Brian and Banana, proving them as the 2 MVPs of the match. They must be feeling real good right now, being just 1 game away. They are at match point, 1 game away from winning the first ever community run European LAN event for Splatoon 3.
Yeah, this win is going to be super important for them. They're grasping for it. They're fighting. They're fighting for it. They are waiting. It's a big event here. There's so many people. Can we take a quick look at that crowd? I see so many people here. Come on, everyone. Give them a huge cheer. Both of these teams, Some Deaths and Lekker backtrack, fighting for the glory, fighting for the medals, fighting for that victory here at RSL 3. The vibe here has been so positive, so fun, seeing everyone again, and it's still the pressure that they still create here, the amazing matches, the crazy show that these people have been giving us. But now it's time for Rainmaker on to Sturgeon Shipyard. It is Some Deaths' last chance to crawl back. A short reverse sweep of 3 victories in a row are required here. Lekker backtrack has reached match point status, and that puts so much pressure. We're just gonna get right on into this game bio, kick it off. This might be the last match of tonight. It might not be, but it's gonna be one hell of a fight here.
No, for sure. And here on Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard, we have seen this map before, much as like many of the other counter picks that we have seen. And this map has proven itself to be extremely volatile and quick. If these teams do not get themselves under control quickly, they run the risk of being knocked out. And we are seeing an explosive opening come out from Lekker, but it will be countered by Some Deaths as they go actually 3 down. Some Deaths quickly taking this back, trying to pop the Rainmaker, set up a push quickly against Lekker and start building some space for themselves, not only in mid but also on the right and left sides to start threatening those checkpoints.
Yeah, the checkpoints are super important. Like you said earlier, the right side is a bit more consistent to push, but the checkpoint is super annoying. There are 3 players go down on the side of Some Deaths, meaning the push, whatever they have, is been stopped by Lekker backtrack, and they're preparing for their own push already. Robber going, feints that block, fading a little bit left, throws the hammer onto the buoy bomb. Luckily, Okami was there to prevent Robber from killing that buoy bomb. Along the buoy bomb will still be thrown out and stalling the Rainmaker a little bit. Now it's, I believe, Banana. Yeah, Banana on the Tri-Soldier against Okami, but the Tri-Soldier has such a huge advantage there. The Rainmaker has been dropped. Some Deaths still preventing any push happening, as Lekker backtrack is really opting to push on that left side. The good old Splatoon 1 route, the good old Splatoon 2 route, a very consistent route. the take. It's a little bit risky, but if you have the opening, it is way faster. Storm now controlling it. Rainmaker, 3 players down on the side of Lekker backtrack. This is looking good, but it's still Banana alive with the Slasher. They wanted to go left, but they opted to go right instead. But they get the checkpoint. Suction Bomb is out, but not enough to splat anyone. Instead, Robber goes down, and this is a huge push for Some Deaths, who are still going in. They heard my call. They know what they needed to do, and they've been fighting for 3 players down inside of Lekker backtrack. Again, the Rainmaker slowly being popped by Some Deaths. They're picking it up, and now they're just throwing themselves in there, knowing that this is a fight that they cannot win anymore. But they can score as much point as they wipe out. That's a very important wipeout because Toyoben and Okami is still inside of the base for Lekker backtrack. They can pop the Rainmaker and score even more points, but it looks like they have something to say about that Buoy Bomb on the Rainmaker, Toxic on the Rainmaker. Everything is on there. This push somehow not done yet, Bio.
This is incredible. Some Deaths is still 7 in this push, pushing all the way to 25 on this map. That can be massive if Lekker eventually don't find a way to come back. But for now, that is not their importance. Right now, they need to stop Some Deaths, and they finally do, leaving only Okami alive, which picks the Rainmaker, and picks 2 actually, and that is going to stall out Lekker's counter push by quite a bit. This is going to buy a lot of time for Some Deaths to get set up in mid once again and keep Lekker from getting anywhere near a push of the magnitude of Some Deaths with a minute 45 remaining. This is massive for Some Deaths. They have a huge lead. They have a lot of time. Lekker is really staggered with a double kill from Promano. This is proving itself to maybe be the start of Some Deaths' return to glory.
And they really need that start because, you know, there are still match point status for Lekker backtrack. They're opting to go top left now. Some Deaths, they have the Rainmaker, but the Tri-Strike will be thrown on them. Somehow the Rainmaker survives that, and they're still going for Namo. Also gets a huge spat on Robbe, and Sandu also falls here as well. Banana tries to go in, but is quickly being pushed out, and now fighting a machine from Namo. That's not a fight you want to have. Gets Banana, and that's rid of an inkjet. That's going to be important later, probably. Another splat on Sandu. A minute left on the clock, and a Rainmaker in a very tough spot for Lekker backtrack. Some Deaths have no reason to pop that, just spending a little bit. They popped it now, and now Toyoben is going to hold in an even more annoying position, I assume. They're trying to go up top left just to waste some time. I don't know if that's smart, just because Toyoben is all on his own there. Somehow Banana tries to get a spot, misses him, but spots Storm on his own, gets Storm. Storm gets refragged by Pranamo, and this is looking in a very healthy state for Some Deaths. Robert going in with a hammer, but gets shot down by Pranamo! Huge splat there! Looking at Sandu, gets them as well! Crazy machine playing game player. Robert again attacking Pranamo. Can they get him this time? It looks like they finally can. 10 seconds left on the clock for Lekker backtrack. It's gonna be a very tough fight as they have to push all the way to 25. The Rainmaker has been picked up just in time. How well gonna keep it? 2 players are down for Some Deaths. This is the opening that Lekker backtrack has been looking for. It's just a bit on the late side, but anything is possible. Brian does go down. Inksuka is coming out there. Misses. Unfortunately for Some Deaths, misses the Rainmaker, but now it's only Banana on his own, having to wait for the team to come back. That's not a lot of time you have. The Tri-Strike being thrown out, forcing Banana into a corner. Now Storm shooting at them as well. That humongous ballpoint range is going to make it so difficult for Banana to move, and all Lekker backtrack has to do is move, and Some Deaths only have to stall. The Raintaker is almost out of time, and with another splat for Namo, Some Deaths took it back, giving us game number 6. This is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Finally, this is what we were waiting for. Lekker did end up having that 2-game lead, and we were all very worried that they were going to get that match point under their belt. But Some Deaths not willing to go down without a fight, bring this back, get themselves on the board once again, give themselves at least one more game and stay in the set. This is massive, especially as how we saw them play that game. It's clear that they did actually learn from Lekker's strategy in tower control Inkblot as they kept up the pressure in their push and did not let Lekker push them back. They just kept playing on the offensive, which we may see them employ here in our Game 6 counter pick. Clam Blitz on Manta Maria. We have been over this discussion quite a few times, but let's run over it again. Hat, what do you think of this map, and what do you think these teams will be doing here?
Yeah, I think the composition we saw in the last Clemens game on Museum del Foncino are definitely what is going to be run by these teams. However, Some Deaths has not been super hot compared to Lekkerback Tech on this map. I think Lekkerback Tech definitely is a hotter team here. We're just gonna have to see what Some Deaths is cooking, because they've chosen this map mode for a reason. It's heating up in here. The fight is on. These teams looking ready. Toyoban dropping the crab tank for more tri-strikes. That's mainly the biggest change we see here. Tendu sticking with that crab tank, so it's a battle of the splashes. These teams looking so equal again here as well. The only thing dividing them is a slosher instead of a stamper. Toyoban quickly falling though by the Inkjet. 3 players down super early for Some Deaths, and a full wipe at the beginning. It's not what they want as the Clam is going in. Points are being scored here now. They have a lot of Clams on their hands. 7 more. That's not the openings that I was looking for at all. The push is already to 53. Make that 50 push already. 2 players do fall for Lekkerback Trek though. Robin going with a super sneaky hammer. Gets 2 players before it gets splattered. Doesn't get a splat, but Brian tries to go in. Banana also tries to go in, but couldn't get anything down anymore. But an opening for Lekkerback Trek that some teams will dream of having. This is not looking good for Some Deaths.
Some Deaths really dropped the ball there at the beginning of the game. Getting wiped like that is not something you want to see, and that gave Lekker a free ticket to a 50-point lead, which honestly, on this map, and seeing how these two teams are so evenly matched, and seeing how they like to play pretty passively around each other, that lead may just be enough to keep Lekker afloat for quite a long while in this game. And Some Deaths is going to have to work hard to replicate the success that Lekker found at the beginning of the game. And we're seeing this happen. Right, 2 down on the side of Some Deaths, while Lekker goes 3 down. It is only Banana Life Snipe Storm's Inkjet with the Zipcaster, but does eventually go down to Promano's machine. And finally, Some Deaths have an opportunity here to start moving forward against Lekker's seemingly rock-solid defense.
Yeah, but they still have to actually go through that defense. They made a little opening, but now it's time to penetrate through it. We see Toyoban going in deep, waiting for the specials. Inkjet comes out here against that crab tank. That's important because knocking the crab tank down, preventing it from doing a whole lot of other spamming bombs. We see the machine trying to get a bit Robin with a huge flank, getting that machine, getting a power clamp, getting another one. 3 players down on the side of Some Deaths. Again, it's just Okami alive. And this push is as dead as it can be. No one in there to pick it up. Okami eventually falls to the ground as well. There was a huge opening for Some Deaths, but they couldn't capitalize off it because of a huge flank by Robin. Crazy plays. Like I said, his rush is absolutely legendary, and this is the best place to show it.
No, honestly, Some Deaths is playing well, but Lekker are just playing even better. Some Deaths hasn't even been able to score once, while Lekker is sneaking from the right side alongside Robbie. Banana scores yet another power clam, and Sendu coming in with more clams. 2 down on the side of Some Deaths, 3 down now. Lekker is still scoring more clams. They show no sign of stopping. Banana with the infamous Zipcaster targets Promano, gets the pick. Banana targets Storm, leaves them very, very weak, but in the midst of all of that, Sendu is still scoring all the way down to 16. This may be the end of the push for Lekker, but 16 points remaining, a lead of 16 with a minute 30 remaining, and no points scored on the side of Some Deaths must feel terrible. This is looking grim for Some Deaths. They're trying to make something happen here with the tri-strikes, but Brian is going to shut it down before it even begins. Not going to let anything happen. Promano goes down. it does get even down. Banana and Robbie go down on the side of Lekker, but Some Deaths is still reeling. They can't get a defined advantage, and this is giving Lekker all the time and space that they need to just keep the pressure going. 3 down on the side of Some Deaths. Yet again, they can't stay alive on this map. And Lekker, once again, find themselves in a constantly repeating situation, just holding mid, picking off the stragglers of Some Deaths, not in any hurry to score any more points, and just stalling out the timer for them to eventually take this game. 30 seconds remaining, Some Deaths in no position to push, and Lekker... Wait, actually, never mind.
Actually, no, take that back. The clappers have been thrown in, and now it's a counter push for Some Deaths. They lost 3 players, unfortunately, though. That sucks. That's the total. Antonio is down. It's a late wipe. They had the opening. No, Okami is still in there. Throws a clam. No, they could not. Unfortunately, they had an opportunity, but Some Deaths says no with 6 seconds left on the clock. That is a bit too late. Some Deaths gave it everything. They're going to pick up the power clam just in time to proc overtime. There's another chance, but I see a power clam there, and I believe there's Robbe, and you don't want him there. There he goes, avoids the bomb, does it in, gets it, and that makes Lekker backtrack. RRSL 3 champions.
Absolutely incredible plays coming out from both teams, but Lekker eventually comes out on top. Let's go check out our amazing crowd here. Give them a round of applause for your Rising Squidland 3 champions, Lekker, and to finish off with a fist bump. You have got to love it. These two teams gave it their all, and honestly, there could not have been a better end to this Grand Finals. We're going to cut to the crowd real quick. Let's see their faces of enthusiasm here as they are happy about the end of this great tournament. Everyone, give them a round of applause. Give them a cheer for your champions. They have been working super hard through groups, through alpha bracket to make it all the way to where they are now.
Yes, Lekker backtrack shown absolute raw strength through and through. Some Deaths, however, they were fighting as well, giving them their best, and still number 2, a very respectable position, given the amount of competition we had here at the event. But only one team can prevail, and that is Lekker backtrack. But this was such an amazing tournament to watch, and definitely a big warm welcome to the European Splatoon 3 LAN scene, which is still alive, still in its peak, and I cannot wait what happens in the next one. We had a Bravo bracket. Can I get the winner for that quickly?
They're
It's
not
done yet.
quite done yet.
It's not done yet, apparently. Wow.
But you can all stay tuned at the RSL Twitter. We will have the results released soon once beta bracket does end up finishing. But without further ado, that is where we make our leave. It has been a blast for us to commentate this great second half of Alpha bracket and see how Lekker came out on top of this tournament. My name is Bio. You can find me on Twitter at bio__29. Tell me, Hat, where can we find you outside of this stream?
Definitely on Twitter at CasterHat, where I will be posting a lot of stuff from RSL, pictures and videos. A lot of the camera work that has been done will be posted there as well. That's where you can mainly find. That's where you can mainly find me, because that is really the only social channel I really use.
And of course, we can't forget to thank our wonderful TO and streamer for this event, Alice, making rounds for Dapple Productions. And so we say thank you everyone for not only coming to the live event, but also tuning in to this stream to see the very best that the European Splatoon 3 League had to offer. And so to end it off, let's look at our wonderful crowd out here and see what we have. Give everyone a huge cheer. And just like that, thank you so much for tuning in. That was the end of the stream, so thank you very much for watching. We will be ending the stream now, so thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for further Dapple Production tournaments in the future.